So, today we're going to dive into a really unique way of looking at what it means to be a blessed woman. And fair warning, it's probably not what you think. We're going to look past the usual ideas of success or fame and focus on something way deeper, this idea of having a destiny that's marked by heaven. At the heart of all this are these really raw, personal questions. I think we've all had those quiet moments where we wonder, am I even seen? Does anyone notice me? And this perspective we're exploring today, it tackles those feelings head on, but suggests the answers might be hiding in some pretty unexpected places.
And that brings us right to the core idea that a real, true, divine blessing isn't about what you have or what you've achieved in the world's eyes. It's about having a destiny that is set apart, one that's been chosen, protected, and prepared for a purpose that's so much bigger than just you.
So let's just redefine the word blessing for a second. It's not about having the perfect life, the money, the attention. Nope. Instead, it's this internal reality, this sense of being chosen, preserved, and empowered. This definition right here, it's the key that unlocks everything else we're about to talk about. Okay, so the very first sign, and this one might be a little surprising, is all about struggle. The idea here is that when you're facing these intense private battles, it's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. Actually, it's seen as the complete opposite. It's a sign that your future has incredible value. And this quote, wow, it just captures that idea perfectly, doesn't it? It suggests that the amount of resistance you're up against is directly connected to how important your destiny is. It completely flips how we normally think about hardship.
And just look at this comparison here. It shows that shift in thinking so clearly. What feels like punishment, this view calls it confirmation. Those unexplained tears, they're seen as prophetic battles. And the scars you've gotten from all that pain, they become proof that you have a story worth telling. It's about seeing the divine investment right in the middle of the pain.
All right, on to sign number 2. This one is all about this internal feeling, this deep spiritual hunger that you just can't seem to satisfy with anything the world has to offer, no matter how hard you try. You know that feeling? Well, this perspective says it's not just a personality quirk. It's described as something sacred, something intentional. It's literally called the fingerprint of God, a sign that you were made for a much deeper connection and a higher purpose. So here's the game changer. That hunger completely reshapes what you're looking for in life. It's the difference between just wanting a good life and longing for a God life. You stop chasing success for its own sake and start seeking alignment. Even the desire for marriage transforms into a search for a true destiny partnership. Now, this third sign, this one can be really, really tough. It's about separation. It's about losing people, sometimes people you really loved and fought hard to keep in your life. But this view reframes that painful loss. It's not seen as rejection, but as a deliberate act of divine protection. I mean, just let that sink in. It speaks right to that experience of praying and begging for a relationship to survive, only to watch it fall apart. The idea here is that this painful removal was actually an act of mercy, meant to protect your destiny from something that wasn't right for it. And it's not just random chaos. This viewpoint sees separation as a very structured 4-step process. First, you're isolated to protect you. Then, your heart is sanctified, kind of purified. All of this is preparation for your purpose, with the promise that you'll be revealed when the time is right. Okay, sign number 4. This one is all about the atmosphere you carry. It has nothing to do with being loud or the center of attention. It's about having this undeniable spiritual presence that just influences people for the better, almost without you trying. And I love this quote because it makes such a powerful distinction between volume and impact. It suggests that real influence comes from your character, from who you are deep down. That's what speaks for you, not how loudly you can shout about yourself. And we're not talking about some vague concept here. These are the real, tangible effects of that presence. It's when you walk into a chaotic room and things just calm down. It's when your words seem to carry wisdom, and your stability, which is rooted in that deep connection with God, becomes an anchor for other people.
And that leads us right into our final sign, number 5. This is the one that really ties everything together. It's this deep-seated belief that everything that's ever happened to you, the good, the bad, the confusing, it's all being woven together into a divine plan. Absolutely nothing is wasted. Just look at how powerful a simple change in words can be. What you might have called rejection, heaven calls redirection. That devastating loss, it was alignment. Every single struggle was actually training. This one shift in perspective can completely change the story of your past. So in the end, the proof of this blessing isn't in a perfect, scar-free life. The proof is in your survival. Those scars, they aren't signs of failure. They're your testimonies. The very fact that you're still standing is seen as proof that you were being preserved all along. And that brings us to this incredible, empowering promise. It's this declaration that all the pain, all the tears, all the struggles, they're not the end of the story. They're just the building blocks for a triumphant testimony. And I want to leave you with this final thought because it really sums up the entire message. It suggests that the first and most powerful sign of a divine blessing isn't a crown of success. It's the story of your survival. It's a view that honors your endurance far more than your achievements. And it leaves you with a pretty powerful question. What does your survival say about your destiny?